Hello? I can hear you.
Oh,
Hold on. I'm gonna need to test something with you just to make sure that the VOD doesn't get super fucked. Can you say something right now?
hello.
Okay, the VOD is good. Everybody can hear you.
Great.
Yes. Fuck yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Appreciate the impromptu session.
No worries. I feel like I made you wait. You're like, give me 15 minutes, and I made you wait 30.
It worked out. No issues here. It was
uh,
funny watching you trying to calculate.
yeah, man. We're good. I'm ready for this
Congrats
coaching
on
lesson.
the 500, by the way.
Yo, thank you, man. It's actually feels really good because it's the thing that's really cool about it is it's permanent, so I never have to worry about it again. It's not something that I'm not like
Yep.
have in the back of my mind anymore. So fuck yeah,
Sweet.
hell yeah, dude. I'm ready to coach now. I'm in a good mood. You got me in the vibe high right now.
That's good.
Okay,
That's what I need.
Okay, I'm gonna help you get to the next level at StarCraft. All right, dude. So you're Diamond. What league specifically? Are you Diamond 3? Or are you
I'm Diamond 2.
okay?
So it's been interesting since our last session.
Okay.
So I've had to relearn StarCraft, meaning I never used to hotkey my units or use camera inject hotkeys. So I've finally bit down and forced myself to start doing it.
Okay.
Um, I hate that I'm saying that now because there's probably points in the game where I don't do it and I still F2,
Sure, that's fine.
um,
I get it.
but that brought me down some MMR. So I've been working to kind of get back to where I am. That being said, I haven't been playing much ladder. I've been playing with a friend who's actually 4300 Terran, and I feel like I'm just running into a wall constantly, given that he's better than me.
Sure.
But when I play ladder, I still feel pretty comfortable versus Terran. But I still make some, even though he's significantly better than me, I'm still making some pretty basic macro mistakes. So
Yeah.
that's probably where I can use your help. And I don't feel like I have a rhythm with Zerg either. You know how people have kind of macro cycles of how it flows. I don't feel like I have that. So if I could get that, like if you could kind of point out what I need to do a little bit better in that area too, that would be good.
Yeah. We'll talk about what it looks like. We'll figure something out that looks like it applies to what you're doing the best for sure. But yeah, I mean it's good that you're playing someone better than you though, because it's definitely gonna make you just crush everyone on ladder once you start actually becoming more comfortable with this dude, your buddy. You're gonna be like, wow, every turn on ladder is a joke. Like, this is easy.
Yeah, I already kind of feel like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they're not doing anything in the game, whereas I'm always having to respond to something in his games.
Yep.
So I feel free to just macro up whenever I play ladder because I don't feel pressured.
That's conditioning right there, dude. That's your conditioning. You're conditioning yourself to become a better player. That's really good.
That being said, though, I don't have a real build order that I follow when it comes to Terran. When it comes to Protoss, I follow your lurker build that you made me. And I've gotten really good at that build.
Yeah.
So I probably need something to mirror.
Sure.
Here too.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. If your build looks totally fucking just like all over the place, we can definitely like when we get through this, we can make you a build as well that can be like your guide.
Okay.
If it looks like really off. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay,
Yeah, the one thing I do here that probably gets me behind in this game is I still kind of struggle with his multi-prong, so I do overcommit to, defense without needing to.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so far, I mean, I can't really say much about it right now. Your game looks fine so far. But yeah, one of the biggest things to do, get in the habit of not using select alarmy, and also get in the habit of not hotkeying shit if you're getting dropped a lot, because all you gotta do, if it's just drop, send shit to like parts of the bases that are getting dropped repeatedly. It's gonna always be the edges of your bases usually, and then leave it there, and then you can just green box it if he comes back there again and poke him with it. Like, go, hey, Ling Bane, go chase the medevac.
Gotcha.
And then once you're ready to deal with either attacking him or he's gonna attack you mainly, you then can select the army, regroup all your shit, like reconverge it together, and then attack his ass.
Gotcha.
But spreading yourself out when you're defensive anyways is really good rather than leaving it all clumped up. Because here's the concept of that. This is something it took me a long time to understand. Because no one taught me this. I just had to realize this. And this is back in like 2011 or something. Why would you ever send like 100 supply or like 80 supply or just a massive number to kill a 10 supply medevac? Like, it seems logical, right? When you're like, I want to kill that medevac. It's in my base. Go send my army to kill that. Like, that seems okay. But then if it's what Terran normally does, and Terran always does this, once you get to a certain level of player, which your buddy seems to be, they always multi-prong you. Multi-prong, multi-prong, multi-prong. So if you're sending like 80 supply to go kill 10, it's overcommitted as hell. It's way too over. It's just excessive. So if you just split it, like let's say you have like 20, 20, 20, 20 around like 4 different bases that need to be defended, suddenly every drop just gets shit on and shut down when he tries to do it. Because a drop is also not effectively, even though it's worth 10 supply, it's actually only worth like literally like 4 supply or 5 supply if you catch it as it drops. Because as it's dropping, you're not fighting all 8 Marines at once. You're fighting like 1, 2, 3. And if your units are already there and they're just killing shit as it drops, it's always going to be like 1, 2, dead, dead, 1, 2, dead, dead, 1, 2, dead, dead. Drops over. There's nothing now. Like, it all died because it kept dropping into Zergling death repeatedly. So it's huge if you just have something there right when it starts. Makes your life like 10 times easier. And what you could start doing too, if you're like, okay, Vibe, we'll move on from this. We'll come back to this later probably. But what you can do too, if you're in the habit of like, okay, well, it seems really hard to deal with this, and even though you say I can split my units up in my bases, I still gotta actively go to those bases to catch the drop though. You know what you could do as well? You could literally green box like a chunk of your army. This could be what you do to start it before you have the multitasking to handle all of it at once. But the way you could start it is you could grab a chunk of your army and go, hey, I want this chunk of army to defend my third base. You just green box it. You tell it to go to your third, like right click the part of your third base, and then hold shift, and then do a patrol command and a square around your third base. And then do the exact same thing at your natural and at your main and at your fourth and whatever. And your lings and banes will run in a circle around your main. But it'll be like wherever a drop hits, no matter what angle it comes from, my lings are going to eventually run in a circle and catch it.
Got it.
Because if you're running in a small circle around your main, your lings are going to take laps about once every 2 seconds or 3 seconds. It's going to be super fast because they're on speed, on creep. They're going to not have a very long time to like miss the drop, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That could just be something you do to start to get used to playing like this versus Terrans who play drop heavy. Okay, let's see your scout really fast. Alright, so I'm going to say really quickly, we're going to back it up just for a sec. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Back. I'll look at your scout really quickly. Okay, so you know a Reaper's on its way to your base. You saw the Reaper, and then your Overlord gets deeper, and you see a command center, which is really nice. And then you see a Marine. And this could be you reacting to your friend, because this is kind of how mind games go a lot of times when you play against people you play all the time. Like he probably has a build that you just kind of expect him to do, right? Like I imagine he probably plays the same way quite often.
No, not really.
No?
He kills me with a variety of builds.
Okay.
But he does. It is always standard for him to make a Marine. So I try to get as close as I can to kind of catch the front, but always try to save that Overlord by bringing it back quickly.
Okay. Well, just know this. Okay.
That's why I rally it like that.
Just know.
When I'm playing ladder, I usually go all the way because most Terrans build that reactor.
Yeah. I would say, like, if you turn your Overlord around right now, you will get back to that cliff, and I bet your Overlord will get on top of that cliff with about 100 hit points left. Like with where your rally is going to be, you're going to be probably between like 80 to 100 hit points. So if you would have went a little deeper, just because you almost made it, right? You're so close to seeing the barracks right now, and it's huge if you do scout a little deeper just to see, because you do want to see if it's a reactor or not, or if you want to see if he's going to make another Marine or not, or so, you want to see like what is going to happen out of that, and the off chance that it might not even be like a tech lab. It's very rare that it would be a tech lab, but if it is, that's a huge tell that you're not going to be dealing with a lot of Hellions, or you're not going to be dealing with a lot of Marines. You're just going to be dealing with, most likely, I would assume, someone who's going to go for fast early defensive tanks, or maybe like a Cyclone, which is also kind of awkward. It's just not going to be a build that needs a lot of defense against So you can be greedier, essentially. If you don't see a reactor, you can be greedy as fuck, is what you want to see. And if your Overlord dies for this, ideally you don't want it to die. But I feel like it totally could have scouted a little deeper, and if you would have seen that reactor, then you know, yeah, okay, it's standard. I need to... because here's the thing, too. This is the crazy thing, okay? This is the crazy thing. If you saw a reactor, all right, that was started that fast, and even if you don't see a factory, but you see a reactor that started that fast and you do not see a factory, you can already also assume, it's not 100%, but it's high chance that it's not a 2-1-1. The fact that you see a Marine and a Reaper means it's probably not a 2-1-1.
Wait, why?
Because a 2-1-1, here's why. The benefit of a 2-1-1 is all about the reactor of producing. It's all about the reactor. And the longer
so he'd prioritize reactor.
Yes, he would have probably gone Reaper reactor.
Marine.
And then he would make 2 Marines at once. So the fact that he makes a Marine instead means obviously he wants to push your Overlord away and get you the fuck out of here. And I'm not saying he can't go 2-1-1, but what I am saying is if he does go 2-1-1 after making a Marine, it's just slightly, it's not massively, but it is slightly less efficient than if he just made the reactor and started making Marines.
Okay.
So it's
meaning it hit a little bit after.
Yeah,
like 5:15, 5:30.
Exactly. If he wants to have the same number of Marines, it's going to hit a tiny bit later. Or when he does hit you, if he hits you at the same time, it's going to have a little bit, like 1 less Marine, essentially.
Got it.
So it'll just be a little bit weaker. So again, yeah, if you see the Marine like this, it's most likely not a 2-1-1. Unless he made a Marine and skipped the Reaper entirely. And so the Reaper instead was now a Marine, and then he made Marine Reactor. And he wants to be the guy who wants to still push your Overlord away, but he wants to get a reactor fast and still do a powerful timing with, the reactor how it's supposed to be. But yeah, making a Reaper and then a Marine and then a reactor, it's very unlikely that it's going to be 2-on-1. It's again, it could be, but it's probably not. So seeing the reactor on the barracks, if it just started just now, again, that confirms to you that it is a reactor and that you're going to probably be dealing with Hellions. If you could see the factory as well, that'd be fucking awesome. But I mean, if you're like, my Overlord's gonna die, I'm gonna get it back to the cliff really fast, then you do what you gotta do. And let's see when it gets to the cliff. I was assuming 80 to 100, and you're at 96.
96, yeah.
So if you would have gone just for like 1 extra second and then backed off, you probably would have got to that cliff with like 50 to 60, because
So maybe the bottom of that ramp, and then pull back.
Yeah, just you if you can, just see the edge of the barracks on the bottom right side. Just to see if there's an add-on on it, and then what is it, if you can tell. Like it, click it if you can really fast, and then turn your Overlord around.
What if you see no add-on on it? What is that?
So if you see the lights flashing and you see no add-on, it means he's making another Marine, and that is a moment when I would say he's doing one of 2 things. He's either going for a no gas build, and he's doing something crazy, like a very delayed gas build because he's not making it out on, and he's doing something that could be crazy mineral based, and that could be like, if you already saw a natural, you already know that's not a proxy, because why the fuck would you proxy and also go for an expansion this fast, and also make a barracks? Yeah, exactly. It would be 3cc, or he could be making more barracks in his main base. That's it. But what's again? It wouldn't make a lot of sense to make a lot more barracks off of an expansion, so if you had to guess what it would probably be like a really fast 3cc. And he's prioritizing minerals right now to do that. That's what would make the most sense. And then also, here's the other thing it could be. So that's one of the things it could be. Another thing it could be is that he doesn't want to spend any gas going for a Reaper, or maybe he does make Reaper, that's also fine. But maybe instead of making an add-on, he wants to go for tech faster. And why would that make sense if he's going to make multiple Marines and go for tech? The only reason why that would make sense is because he's not going to prioritize something that needs to be made during the time of the factory, which is a reactor. And now maybe he prioritizes, he's going to make 2 Marines and then a tech lab. And he's going to be that kind of a player that's going to do some weird shit. And he's going to go for like fast tanks or cyclones or whatever. Or he's going to go for a very fast starport. And he doesn't give a shit about the Hellion phase. He just wants to go for like a quick starport because, again, he's not prioritizing an add-on to make... he's not prioritizing an add-on that requires gas to make more cyclones or more Hellions with. He could be prioritizing the factory to then also go into the starport so that he doesn't have to spend the 50 gas on the reactor, which again, that's a very awkward build. It's very unusual. It's not common. The most common one is a reactor Hellion, because then you actually have control of the game. People who just like skip the add-on and like would tech are people that like to play risky as fuck. They're the people that would, the way you could describe them is they flip a coin and they're like, well, I might die, I might not. We'll see what happens. I'll just fucking rush my tech. That happens. It does happen though on ladder from time to time. But knowing if he has an add-on or not is a big deal. It's a huge deal. And I would say with the Overlord pathing you had here, you could have seen it, and it would have just confirmed it for you. It's just a confirmation is all it is. Oh, your announcer makes me think of Cats. I don't know if you watch Cat stream very often, but he uses this announcer too, and I always fucking think of Cats when I hear this announcer.
Who do I have again? It's
the guy. Yeah, Alarak. It's that voice actor from he was in Star Trek or something one time, and I think he was also I think he might have been the Emperor in Star Wars. I can't remember, but I just know his voice. All right. Anyways, let's look at your build here. Okay, your third is well timed. Your third is nice. Your speed pull off is good. I like a lot. I think I told you this before. I really like that you delay speed because you saw the natural. That's fucking super money. I would much prefer you to go for a third base faster than your speed. So that's amazing, really good. That's a really greedy third, but it's acceptable. And it again,
yeah, I did this in both matchups.
That's really good. So, and that's you don't have to see the reactor or something like that to know that skipping speed first and then going third base first is good. It's again, it's just off the natural, because now you know you're not going to be pressured very hard. So that's super good. But yeah, your build so far is not bad up to this point.
Up until I build 12 links.
We'll see. And then I would love you to make a creep tumor. Perfect. Whenever you do this, you will get punished by what you just did. You will get punished by that. By how you positioned your units. Like, Terrans will eventually start to fuck you over when you do this, because if you throw it down right away and the Reaper just turns around, you have to have Lings in front of your Queen. Already, because what will happen is the Queen will not kill the Reaper fast enough for the Reaper to throw a grenade at the Queen and the tumor, to then launch the Queen, to also do damage to the tumor, and then just like two-shot the tumor. Then the Reaper could get away and not die as well when he does this, because the Queen will only hit the Reaper like twice in this process, and then the Reaper gets out scot-free. However, if your Lings are in the way, as you know you're going to put a tumor down, if you put your Lings in front of the Queen, the Reaper now has to get hit by each Ling like twice as well. Which is like, if you have 4 Lings, which you don't, because, you know, one of them died, which is okay. But you do 10 damage per Ling, essentially. So this would be 30 damage off of just the Lings. Like, for him to, like, and this is assuming he does it, like, the most efficient he possibly could, which is he immediately comes as you throw the tumor down, he throws a grenade first, and then shot, grenade blows up, creep tumor dies. That's as efficient as the Reaper can be, which means your Lings guaranteed to hit it twice. And if there were 4 Lings here, that would be 40 damage off of the Lings, and your Queen would do like 8 damage, or like maybe 16, because it might hit it once or twice, depending on how the auto attack would go. You would probably hit it twice before the grenade would blow up. So that's like 56 damage on the Reaper to kill the tumor right away. And the Reaper only has 60 hit points. So if you did any damage to it before, or maybe get like that one final hit with one more Ling, you would kill it for killing your tumor. But a lot of times what will happen is, you would, if the Reaper like gets pushed away by your Queen because you like smack it a couple times and it leaves, if it tries to come back and you have your Ling set up like this, you'll kill it before your tumor dies. So and then the Reaper will also respect that a lot of times and be like, oh fuck, okay, Lings are there, let's just back off. So that's huge, because if you
always put the Lings in front.
Yeah, always. Yep. Yeah, like you should have them literally in front of your Queen as you throw it down. So if the Reaper comes back, which a lot of Terrans will do eventually, once you get to like, Terrans will start abusing this to you, because I even deal with this in my own games. If I don't do that exact fucking thing, because let's say I'm like talking to chat or some shit, and I just kind of forget about the Lings for a second, and I throw my tumor down, the Reaper always turns around, comes back, launches my Queen, and kills the tumor, and I'm just like, god damn it, like why the fuck did I not put my Lings in front of my Queen? It's so stupid, because if it dies, it's such a waste of energy. It's huge right now, because it's like, this is pretty critical about getting your creep to your third right now. And then yeah, the Lings right now over for sure. Like what you just said. Yeah, this is too much.
Let me the reasoning behind this, which I guess I don't have good reasoning behind it, considering I didn't see his factory or reactor, is he's very YOLO with his aliens, as in when they come out, he just sends them.
Sure.
So I think what I'm trying to do here is get him out there. Well, I guess the Reaper could have scouted it too, but my goal is to get him out there so that when his Hellions leave his base, I can get a run by. And also, I think I make some backup links to defend whenever they get to my base too.
Now, this is why I would say I don't like this, and this is actually how a lot of people play in general on ladder. I don't like this, and the reason why is because you are relying on him making a mistake. Now, you might go, his tendencies are this and stuff like that, but these are one of those things that it's a move for standard play. This is not standard. This is situational, and it might be something you could mix into your play every now and again, but making this your standard is a bad idea. Because if your standard relies on your opponents making mistakes, when your opponents don't make mistakes anymore, your standard will fall apart. Your standard will just feel like crap. So your standard should be droning and proper reactions of defense. But, and here's why. This is why I say this is also not good. That's the main first reason is that's why. The second reason this is not good is if you're going to preemptively when the game starts, go, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking abuse him because he is prone to Hellion run-bys, and he always leaves his base exposed. I've just noticed this over like history with him. If that's your plan from the beginning of the game, now it makes no sense to prioritize your third before speed. Now it makes sense to prioritize your speed before your third and get the timing out as fast as you can, because you want to maximize your speedling pressure, because that's what your goal is when the game starts. You're gonna like make that your priority, because making your third your priority and then going for lings makes no sense. Your speed should be like 20 seconds further in than it is. Which means your speed's going to be super fucking late at doing a real run by. So it's just like you haven't really prepared for the strategy you're going for. You've done the opposite this game. And that's why, again, your standard should be drones.
It still feels really early too, given that he's just started making Hellions.
It's super early. Like what you're doing now is this is what I would say the easiest way to explain what you've done. You've put yourself in a position where you have to do damage, otherwise you're behind until that happens. If you just get across the map and you reset army to army, you kill Hellions, he kills Zerglings, you're behind. If you do no damage and you lose Lings, you're very behind. Because like if you brush up against depots and the Hellions just roast you, that's awful. And then if you kill like 5 SCVs, I wouldn't even say it's like, oh, you're way ahead. I would say it now just becomes worth it. Like I would say you have it's putting yourself back in the position if you just would have made drones, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it only really puts you ahead if you not only kill like 5 SCVs, but instead also you kill like 3 mules and you make him lift off the natural and he just sacrifices building SCVs for the next like 40 seconds. Then you're ahead with doing something like this.
Makes sense, yeah. And I just realized too, if the Reaper saw it, it's an easy defense for him.
Exactly. Like if his Reaper is still not dead, and then if he just goes, oh wow, Lings are coming across the map, I'm just gonna not leave my base. He would already know. Okay, this Zerg is behind. How many Lings did you just make? You made you made 12. So exactly, that's if he were to look at this. If you were to ballpark this as a Terran player and go, oh god, that's a lot of Lings, you would just subtract 4 off of the amount you see, because that's standard. That's the different Reaper. That's acceptable. So you'd be like, okay, well I see, let's just say, okay, I see probably like 16. I see 18. You just kind of like, because you don't have every perfect number when you're playing the game. You kind of sometimes you get the wrong numbers wrong a little bit. But if you were to go, okay, that's like 18 Lings right there. I see like 18 Lings. And if now we take 4 off of that, that means that's 14 Lings that he just made. That's extra. So that's like 7 drones he's behind already. 7 fucking drones. And 7 drones is huge when you're comparing that to like a Terran's mules and SCVs and stuff like that. It's just like early game like this, that's like a third of your economy. Or it would, if you made it extra on top of what you already had, that would be like a fourth of your economy. But that again, those numbers are not exactly what you have here. Obviously, you made 12, so that's 6 drones. But still, that's a fuckload. That is so much of your economy right now that is just not there. So this position puts you into almost like an all-in, because you're going to be behind unless you fuck him over. So I would definitely say never do that. Now, secondly, only one tumor should go down on this queen in front of your base, and then like initially, and then you should go back to injecting right away. And if your third base is early enough to just run it to the third and inject right away, that's great. If it's later and you're like, okay, well, if I just send it to the third now, I'm going to have like 50 energy by the time it's done. Inject your natural. You just want to have the one tumor going towards your third from the natural, and then inject immediately right after that again. And then as soon as the third is done, you want to have that queen, doesn't matter which one it is, just have a queen like at the third. It would obviously be your first queen that built if your third's quick like it is this game. It could be your second queen if your third got a little bit delayed for whatever reason, like maybe the Reaper fucking just was
or something.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. If he has like an SCV blocking your ass and a Reaper that blocks you further, then you could pick either queen. Just always have a queen at the hatchery as it finishes. So this queen right now should run to the third. But then instead of making a second tumor, it should have made an inject, but like earlier. You just want that one tumor. And then you can see your inject's also kind of missing in your main now. And this is because you're probably prioritizing aggression, so you're putting less focus on your build and more focus on fucking over his build. Yeah, how the queen goes back now like that to the natural, that's a big mistake. You should be injecting your third right this second right now. And I think the reason why as well, why you're leaving your queen here, is because you're like, oh, Hellions are there, and I'm gonna lose my drones.
Yeah. And I'm making 14 links to, because I know he's gonna jump in.
Yeah.
I think my Overlord sees it up front, so I know he's gonna dive in like he always does. So I'm setting up queens over there, and those are where my drones are, and also the extra lings.
Now, I don't disagree with you having to make more lings right now. I do not disagree. You should make more lings, because if you were gonna go for a build that's gonna be designed around aggression, you totally should make more lings right now, because otherwise you're susceptible to losing all your drones while you kill SCVs. But if you think about it like this, if the lings were going to be made to guard your base, because your plan was ultimately to be going for faster speed, and let me say it like this. There's the two differences, okay? The first one is if you had faster injects at your bases, you've already missed 2 injects, actually like 3. And the reason why is because your main base missed a full inject already, because you're not prioritizing it as much as you should be. Your natural missed an inject because you threw down a second tumor, instead of 1 tumor and then an inject again. And your third base is missing injects because it doesn't have a queen at it, and it's done already, and it's already had enough time to spawn 3 larvae, which means that's enough time to have an inject pop off. So, you've missed a lot of injects already, and that's a lot of larvae that you're already down, just because. And now, if your plan was to go for a run-by like you did, if you prioritized your speed, your third base would have been a little bit delayed, so maybe instead of generating 3 larvae up to this point, you would have only generated maybe 1, which would have been fine. You still should have had an inject the second it was done, on top of the hatchery, but you would have had your run-by into his base faster. You could have, like, the second you saw those Hellions leave, those first 2 Hellions leave, your speed would probably be finishing right around then, and your links could still be where they are right now. If you were going to go for speed really fast, I don't mind how fast you made these lings, because by the time you got across the map, you would be actually getting ready to have speed be done. And then you could make another. You could take your natural and go up to, like, let's say like 8 drones or something like that. Maybe take a little bit less than you did, because again your speed would be faster, and you'd want to make the next round of lings like you are making right now to be pairing up with when your speed is about to finish, so that you could absorb a Hellion run-by if he does one, or you could reinforce your initial lings if the Terran turns around and goes to defend. So, and you could even reset this process repeatedly. You could be like, okay, my first set of lings go into his base, I kill SCVs, and he goes home defensively with Hellions. Let's say he kills my Lings. I watch him once again leave his base with my Overlord, and I run into his base again, and I make another set of Lings because now I'm killing his SCVs again. I'm like making him lift off again. Maybe this time I get into his main base. Like, you could make the game that way if you wanted to, if you were going to be all about an aggressive playstyle. But that prioritizes the speed for this to be effective early. The earlier it can be effective, the better, because you're all about fucking him over.
Okay.
But yeah, like defensively, this game, again, you have just missed so much larva already for how fast your hatcheries were, and how much time you've missed on your queen and Jex, that you could actually have a lot more larvae to use just in general. You could have like probably another like 9 larvae already right now in this game that you're missing out on. And 9 larvae is more than 14 lings worth of larvae. You know what I mean? That's 18 lings right there again. Or that could be 9 drones. I would say better.
Yeah. Plus 445 minerals that need to be spent.
Yeah. So you definitely could have more larvae being used here. But just know the difference of what you're going for when the game starts. If your plan, because here's the crazy thing, Zergling speed is not a reaction to a Terran who goes Hellions. The reason why is because you don't know unless you drone scout, and if you drone scout, you also, I would say that's not necessarily needed either, because you just set your build behind again a little bit if you drone scout that fucking early. Like if you send like drone 16 or 17 is gonna go. Drone 17 is going to go take a natural, and drone 16 that also got built with drone 17 is going to go scout his base. Like, that's early as fuck, and it's going to just slow everything down for you a little bit. You're going to miss out on like probably like 100 minerals because that drone's going to be gone for so long from the early game. So I wouldn't recommend that because I don't think you need to do that. But what I think you should do is you should just start the game off going, if I want to be aggressive this game, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to get Zergling speed before I take my third because I want to be aggressive. And then when you confirm, oh, yep, Hellions. Okay, now my build's even better. Because he's going Hellions. Like, because here's how you could react to this, okay? Let's say he goes for Hellions and he does a run by. Well, now you have a chance to do what you wanted to do. Like, your plan works better now. You've committed to your plan, and now your plan works better. Now, let's say he goes for bio. He's going for just Marines and a bunker. Now, you instead of doing like a 12-ling run by or whatever, a 14-ling run by, what you could do now is what if you just do a bigger ling flood where maybe you make an extra like 20 lings and you do like 34 lings at once when those next 20 finish, like right around before speed's done, like similar to how you're making them now, but you make them with faster speed, so faster lings with faster speed, and you reinforce your lings across the map because you see the Terran making a bunker or something like that. And you're like, well, now what I want to do is I want to surround and bust the bunker and then kill whatever I can in his base. I want to make his natural lift and like fuck him over that way because my plan this game was to be aggressive and I really committed to it, and that's what I'm going for. So the point I'm trying to make here, the ultimate underlying theme here that I'm trying to say is if your plan is to be aggressive in the early game, you need to do it. That's what you're going for. You need to prioritize it. But if your plan is to be reactionary in the early game, it should not be aggressive. You should not react with aggression, because by the time you are aggressive with reactions, if you're playing a macro style and then you just go, you know what, I'm actually going to go aggressive now as a reaction, you're going to hit a point in StarCraft where Zerg, every fucking timing you do against Terran is going to fail if you react with aggression. You have to just do it if you're going to do it, because every second counts. And the longer you wait, the more chance it fails. And this is only applied to the early game. We're talking in the first 4 minutes. Or first 3 minutes. Like, if you do not prioritize it and you react to it, it will always fail. Versus good Terrans.
So you can't half-ass insert.
You cannot. You have to make the choice premeditated to be aggressive. If you're going to be aggressive, and you can react to how you are aggressive, but it's aggressive. So if your plan is to go for ling run bys into the natural and just fuck over his SCVs, well, it works out perfectly if he goes Hellions and he does run bys and he tries to like do to you too. If he tries to just drive to your base ASAP, now your build, it goes exactly how you want it to, and it could be something you chose to do because you know your opponent does it a lot. This is you're literally like, we're now talking about the concept of like tournament play, literally. Like, this is how people play tournaments. You do builds, it's like metaing your opponent. You go, I know he's going to play this way, so I'm going to preemptively fuck him over before it starts. And then if he doesn't do it, you react however it seems the best from there. Which would be, like, for instance, if you're expecting him to do Hellion run-bys and leave his base, and he doesn't, well, now you know, let's say he makes a bunker instead. Now you can make more lings to bust the bunker and go from there. Or let's say he makes Hellions and you expect him to do run-bys, but he's not doing that. He expects you also to do ling run-bys, and he expects you to be aggressive with that shit. Now suddenly you have the choice to make where you go, well, do I just eat it and take a minor loss here? Or do I want to just, like, bust his ass and go further with it? So that's a gamble right there, because it's no guarantee that you're going to kill him if you all in now, if he's already going to be defensive because he expects what you're going to do too. But you could just take a minor loss there because, unfortunately, your plan was to kind of stab him in the back, and he's not letting it happen. So, because just making a bunch of lings and just making lings is not necessarily going to be the most intelligent way to play it out if your opponent is going for defensive reactored Hellions with a depot wall. Like, that's not going to be the best situation for Zerg. That's kind of a counter for you, which is why it's not always... This is exactly why I say I would not want your standard to be aggression. Because if it is, you will have less success than if your standard is droning.
Okay. How many lings is it traditionally to defend against the 6 Hellion start with Terran?
Like honestly, like anywhere between like 14 to 18, maybe 20 on the high end. Like anywhere between 14 and 18 would be good, because the idea is you don't use the lings to defend it until he dives past your queens. You never use your lings first. So if you ever have your queens like injecting hatcheries, and your lings are chasing the Hellions around your creep and shit, like before they even come in contact with your queens, that's not how you're supposed to play that. You're supposed to play it in a way where your queens are the ones who you keep making them, because you're going to spread creep as well. So you should also be making queens, like 2 more queens right now out of your 3rd natural. So you'd be going from 3 up to 5. And you should have queens just kind of poking the front of your base. If he only has 2 Hellions, well, you could have your 1 queen at the base after it injects, go poke the Hellions if he tries to drive by them. And if he literally goes, you know what, fuck it, 2 Hellions, YOLO. Lings, go catch that. Like, let's go defend that. Once he drives past the queen. Because then the queen will come back and try to smack it more as it chases it back into your mineral line. But your lings guard your mineral line as, like, the second stage of defense. But you don't want to be chasing him, like, to the edge of creep repeatedly with just lings and letting him roast, like, half your fucking lings every time and then drive away. Because the goal here for you is to retain as much larva as you can for drones. And the goal for Terran, even if he can't kill drones, is to force you to make more lings, because that's indirectly killing drones. So if he kills 10 lings as he drives away, and you take a Hellion from green health to red health, but he still has 5, like, let's say he has 3 green Hellions and 1 red Hellion, and he kills 10 lings and he leaves. And you're like, well, fuck, I gotta make more lings now, because now he's about to have 6 Hellions. Now it's scary again. Now I need to make another, like, 16 lings. That's fucking, like, 8 more drones you just lost, because you just wasted lings. So you never want to shove Hellions away with lings, ever. You only want to capitalize when it's, like, the chances go, because think about it like this, okay? If you fight lings, or fight with lings off creep against Hellions, I would literally say your chances of killing those Hellions are maybe like 20%. Like, the only way it's going to work is if you get the sickest fucking surround, and you're like, sick, okay, cool. Nice surround, I got all the Hellions, they're dead. It doesn't happen very often. It happens maybe like 20% of the time. So it's a super gamble. Now, if he's on creep, and you chase him with lings on creep, now your lings suddenly are way faster. It's a little bit more realistic to get surrounds. But I would still say you have like a 50% chance now to kill Hellions on creep if you fight with lings before the queens help you. The reason why that is because there's a chance that you might be able to attempt to surround, but it might not happen, because suddenly your lings are bunched up, they run at the Hellions, half your fucking lings die to the initial volley of the Hellions, and you're like, well, okay, I don't have enough lings to really punish him anymore, because I just got roasted right there, because I didn't have flawless fucking micro, getting like the most optimal, like, anti-damaging AoE splits to then also surround the Hellions at the same time. Like, it's hard to do that, and it's not always going to be the most reliable thing. I would give you like a 50% chance to kill Hellions on creep if you just use lings. It's still not great. Again, it's a gamble. However, if you use your queens to zone out the Hellions, There's probably like a high chance, like an 80% chance that the Hellions will get poked once or twice by the Queen, and the Hellion runs away. All that does is it softens up the Hellions, and if he eventually commits and goes, you know what, fuck those Queens, just YOLO, drive past them. Suddenly now your Lings become like a blocker that hold the Hellions in range of the Queens to a certain degree. Like the Queens can catch up pretty fast because now the Lings get on top of them. But then you get all over him as he YOLOs into your base, which means he's going deeper into your territory, not further away. Which means you have more time to set up surrounds because he's going deeper and deeper and deeper towards you.
Got it.
So it's easy as fuck to get surrounds and kill him like that, which means your chance of killing him then, without unless you have horrible fucking micro, I would say your chance of killing him then would be like 80%. Like, because it's not going to always be 100, because there's always mistakes you can make. You might fucking misclick and be like, oh god, I just lost all my Lings. That sucks. It happens. But again, your chances are, it's just easy as fuck to set it up to kill that shit now. So yeah, like 80% for you to defend Hellions like that. For you to take very little damage and you to, you know, take the advantageous fight there. And then just to throw it out there, you should, so this is how your Lings should go, okay? 4 Lings for the first Reaper. That's fine. Then add on like 12 to 14 more Lings for the Hellion stage. When that happens, right before you have Zergling speed done. So your Zergling speed is a 79-second upgrade. When it's around 60 seconds, like 60 to 65, start making the extra like 12 to 14 Lings. So this will add on top of your whatever's left over from the Reaper that didn't die. If it's 4 Lings, great. That means you're going to have like 12 plus 4, so you're going to go to 16 or whatever.
This is if I'm going macro, right? If I'm prioritizing patch report speed.
Yes, and this is what your standard should be, honestly. Again, your standard should not be aggression because you're gonna. Yeah,
I mean, it is my standard. This is the like mind game.
Okay, good.
We're doing.
So yeah, you'll have, again, when speed's like finishing, then you'll have like 16 Lings or so, give or take a couple, and then that's great. That's good to defend Hellions with, and you should also still be making Queens here to use your Queens mainly as a defense. But then you do not make Lings again until you have fully saturated your third base, and this is how you should decide to go about it. If your opponent is going for a build that's like Hellion based, and he throws away all of his Hellions, you could actually fully saturate your mineral lines and gases and then go back to making units. However, if your opponent never commits and he... this is also around the time when your Overlord should be scouting into his main base.
Yeah, around. I usually go a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Not in this game.
Yeah.
For some reason.
It's all good. It's all good.
But I usually try to go like 3:50 or halfway through 3 minutes, 3:30.
Yeah. But you have 3 waves of building Lings. Number 1 and number 2 are always the same. It's based off of your build, which is okay. I make 4 Lings because my pool's done. Now I make another like 12 or so, 14, whatever, because speed's almost done. That always happens the same, every single time. Now the third wave of making Lings, which is the final one right now, is based off of what happens in the game. This one is based off of, did he throw away all of his units, or are they still alive? If they're still alive, it tips you more in the scale of I might need more Lings myself, because his army is growing and growing and growing, and he hasn't thrown his units away. Like, he never actually dove my base. Now, the other part of it is, when you scout his base and you see what you see, that's going to also dictate if you feel like you need more or not. And here's a for instance. If you see a third command center, you might not... That tips you back into the, okay, I can be safer droning scale. If you see a guy who goes for, like, triple fucking factory really early and has like 1 tech lab double reactor or something like that, now you're like, okay, well, this is fucking scary. Or if it's, like, double racks now at this point, and he's going for, like, you know... If he's going for pressure, essentially, and he's not going for a third really early, that tips you back into the I need to make more Ling scale. So it's based off of if shit died for him or if not, and if he's going to commit to aggression for a timing or not. The more into the aggression he's going to go for, the more into reacting to the aggression you need to go for.
What if I see a BC build? That's in the same number of Lings should keep me safe, because because I'll need queen.
So this is what I would say. If you see a BC build, my reaction for you would be you should just make a Roach Warren. Lings are good against a lot of things. They're fine. But I would never say Lings are like the best thing you can make against someone who's going to go Hellion Battlecruiser.
So I lose when he does that build. What I lose to is when I do go Roach Warren, he always does a bio follow-up, which is very odd.
Well, how many roaches are you making? Like, are you just going roaches all game then?
Yeah, my build goes straight into a roach build after that.
Okay, so here's how you can fix that. If you see someone is going to go for like a Hellion, if it's Hellions and it looks like it's going to be paired with Battlecruiser, I highly recommend you make a Roach Warren, and then you can make like literally 8 roaches. Just like 8 roaches. You don't have to go roaches all game, but then what you could do is as soon as you have a layer, if his build has been a build that's not one of the ones that you just know exactly what it's going to be, but it's one of the builds that could be a transition into one or the other, like a BC Hellion opener into either bio or mech. If you're unsure, just make an Overseer as soon as you get layer and go scout his base again and confirm if it is or isn't going to be bio or if it's going to be mech. And a way you can do a failsafe is you can make a Roach Warren right now to, or like as soon as you know, okay, I feel like I might need to make roaches here. You can make a Roach Warren, and you can make a Bane Nest. You can make roaches initially to deal with the... Exactly, yeah. And if you see it's a bio follow-up, you just stop making roaches, and you go and do a Ling Bane, whatever the fuck you want to make. Whatever style you prefer. But if it's mech, and you see, okay, no, it's not actually going to be like Barracks follow-up to the Battlecruiser. It's actually going to be like 3 factories, and he's going like Hellion Cyclone. Well, then you just go speed roaches, and you just stop making Lings altogether, and you go into roaches. Pure roaches.
Okay,
and it's not an expensive way to react to both types of builds Terran can do. Because a Roach Warren is actually cheap as fuck, honestly. It's once you have 2 fully saturated bases, a Roach Warren is not expensive. But if you make a Roach Warren, obviously when you only have like 18 drones, then yeah, it's expensive as hell. Oof. Oof. I'm gonna watch your micro there for a second, because again we can talk about micros since you are in Diamond.
There is no micro there.
I just want. Well, we'll talk about decision making. Okay, so what do you see here? What do you see here? Like just looking at your Ling attack, what do you see from your opponent?
I see that he has the wall up, and 2 Widow Mines are burrowing.
Okay. And now, how many Lings do you feel like you have here?
Not enough to deal with that. The Widow Mines, at least. Okay.
So, what do you think is going to happen here in a second? If as this is going to go, what are you aiming for right now? What are you trying to accomplish right this second?
So my goal actually was to, I was hoping that I splash his SCVs and kill them. Because I didn't think I could react fast enough to pull him back, which I probably could, watching it again. But my goal is if the SCVs are going to crowd up right here on the ramp and he's going to burrow double Widow Mine, why not let them explode on the SCVs too?
Sure, I 100% agree with you. That's a great way to read this. And I would say so what you said is correct. And now to take this one step further with it, I would say what is here to kill my Lings from the Widow Mines killing me as well, but what else is here to cover the Widow Mines to kill my Lings as well besides the Widow Mines themselves? It's 1 Marine, and 1 Marine is not going to kill Lings fucking at all forever. So to play it safe, what I would do, like to guarantee you're going to get a good, and also I guess you also could say the SCVs themselves could also be counted if he just A-moves you and then tries to fight you with SCVs, but obviously he's trying to save them. He doesn't want to lose them. If you kill them, it's a win-win for you anyways. So what I would do is I would just grab half of your Lings right now, green box it, like A-move towards his shit up here, and then green box half your Lings and send it backwards. Just send green box half of it, and you can literally right click the depot or some shit, or the SCV area that's building a depot. Just get away from this spot right now. Because he has a Viking in the air, which he could land at some point, and he has 1 Marine, and that 1 Marine is not going to kill shit if these Widow Mines burrow. Like by the time they burrow and go off, like target a Ling and then shoot their shot, that Marine is maybe going to kill maybe 1 Zergling. Maybe. And if you have 12 Lings here, or you actually have 15 here, if you pull like 7 or 8 off, which means you leave 7 or 8 here, If those Widow Mines don't burrow and shoot, that Marine's going to die. And if they don't burrow and shoot, you're also going to kill a fuckload of SCVs. Like, even with only 7 or 8 lings, because that's such little amounts of defense other than Widow Mine. And he burrows right away. So if you pulled half your lings back, you're still going to get guaranteed Widow Mines to go off and shoot. And then if you had the other half of lings that now can go in once the Widow Mines have gone off, you can clean up the rest. So all you would do is you would green box. Just, you don't have to be perfect. If you get 2/3, if you get 1/3, it's not that big of a deal. Just grab some of your lings, because it's excessive as fuck to have all of your lings go chase that one Marine. Because that's what's happening right now. You're having every ling chase the one Marine. And then in that time you're having all of your lings chase one Marine, what's happening is only like 4 of your lings are actually getting surface area to kill it. And the rest are like, excuse me, I'm trying to get to that Marine. Excuse me, I'm just standing here in the middle of the ramp. I can't get there. And they're just balling up like crazy. So you're like allowing him to have a bigger benefit for his AoE. With your lings actually accomplishing nothing right now. Because his SCVs are not actually on A move. They're on move command. But your lings are on A move. And the way move command works with SCVs is it makes them a neutral unit, not a hostile unit. So whether or not he's move commanding or mineral walking or whatever, the only time an SCV is considered hostile is when it's repairing or when it's attacking. And he's doing neither right now. So your lings will literally ignore the fucking
SCVs.
the SCVs because you're aggroed onto the Marine, which is why his SCVs get out scot-free in this fight. And you get detonated like fucking crazy by the Widow Mines. Like, his SCVs are green. All of them are green. And if you would have pulled back half of your lings, you would have still accomplished killing that Marine. You would have still accomplished setting off the Widow Mines. But now, instead of only having the remainder of what left after the detonation of 3, you might have maybe even like 1 or 2 lings might live from the detonation anyways. But you would still, at the very least, have 7 or 8 lings here. Because you would have pulled back some of them to now wreck the fucking mineral line.
Did I even kill one?
No, you didn't. You killed none.
And I accidentally pulled in the...
No, it's okay. The Overlord's fine, because even if you didn't pull the Overlord in...
it's gonna die anyway.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a Viking. But I will say this. We're going to draw this back all the way to the beginning of the game that we talked about for a second. And it is, you put yourself in a situation where you made lings like crazy, which makes you behind unless you do ridiculous damage to him. Because, again, even if you killed like 4 or 5 SCVs on this middle line, I wouldn't even say you were ahead. I would say you've honestly kind of evened the score here. Like, it becomes like the ling investment becomes okay. Like, it's not a negative anymore, but it's not a positive either. It's just okay. It's a trade. Because you've actually set him back as well, because you've set your back in the first place. But this would only have been worth it if you would have actually killed every SCV here and made that command center lift off. That would have made it worth it. But that was, like, how unrealistic is that right now? It's super unrealistic because of how, and this is why. It's because he has so much shit here right now. And why does he have so much shit? Because you did not prioritize this early enough. So the later you do it, the more Terran has, increases your percent chance of it failing.
Got it.
So it just conceptually, it didn't really line up for you to do aggression this game because you didn't prioritize it.
He didn't even mix Excellions.
Exactly.
So I'm mind gating myself.
Yeah. So like this game, you've just literally, like what you've accomplished right now is the same thing as if you would have had the first 2 Hellions come in your base, and then let's just say you were like, ah, fuck, I forgot to make a queen. Ah, fuck, I forgot to make Zerglings as well. And 2 Hellions go in your base, and they roast 7 drones on your middle line, and then he leaves. Like, I'm not even kidding. That is exactly what you just did to yourself. But if you would see this, you go, well, this wasn't that. I mean, I didn't really get as much as I wanted to get done, but it wasn't that bad. Like, my lings died, but I disrupted his mining time a little bit, but whatever. I'll move on from that. The game's not over or anything like that. But if I guarantee, if you made 7 fucking drones in your natural, and then you let 2 Hellions come in, and all your drones died, you'd be like, well, fuck me. I feel like I lost already. That sucks. But it's the exact same thing. It just looks different. Because you have indirectly killed your own drones by not making them. Yeah, and this I know you said you don't normally do this, but yeah, that other overlord definitely needs to scout because as well, the big one is if your buddy also likes to make Vikings, which some Terrans like to do. If you don't scout in the 4-minute window that you actually can, you will not scout if he makes a Viking, and all you'll know is, oh, he did go to a starport. He went 1-1-1, but my Overlord's dead, and now I don't actually know what's coming up after this until I make an Overseer or get Overlord speed. Or maybe get a Zergling into his base because he left his depot down and there weren't units there to shoot it down.
Yeah, I mean that happens quite often.
Yeah,
I always feel like my secondary scout with Terran is difficult.
Sure. But this is just something you have to become good at with habit. You have to just develop it as a player, because you at this point now you've missed the window to scout. If he finds out your Overlord's over here, you've missed the window to scout because he'll kill it. And then you're just like, well, I can't do anything about that now. I guess I got to play the guessing game. And then you can see too, like, this is also why I don't recommend aggressive builds, because look at your queens at your third. Look at your queen at your main. Look at your queen at your natural.
Yeah, it's at the cost of my own.
Exactly. Like the multitasking is being taxed hardcore right now, and your build not only is falling behind because you're just making shit improperly, like you're just making shit when it shouldn't really make sense, but you're also not making enough shit because you're just not injecting, and you're not actually spinning your larva. Like that's exactly what I'm talking about. Never do this. Always, like, again, this is kind of late in the game now too. And once you get to that point when you have like a lot of units, then it doesn't matter as much because that's like a 100% chance that you're going to kill it. But when it's in the harass phase, which the thing I'm trying to say is it shouldn't be in the harass phase right now, because once you get past 6 minutes, the harass phase should be over. You should already have a fully saturated 3 bases. Because again, you don't have that because of the Ling being made and then the Jax being missed, but you get the point. But in the harass phase, if this was still the harass phase, having your Lings be the first thing that engages the Hellions is never what you want to do, because all it does is it decreases your chances to win the fight. And obviously, as a StarCraft player, you want to increase your chances to win every fight. So having him approach your queens first is always the priority. And the way you can set that up is having two forms of vision. Number one, Overlords. Overlords are artificial creep spread until you actually have creep spread. And the reason why this is logically, it makes sense. Just really quickly, hit E on the keyboard just to make sure you're on everyone's vision so you can see my pings. Overlord there. Overlord, kind of there, it's fine. And Overlord right there. The one in the middle should actually, I didn't mean to click so far to the right. It should be like right, like there.
Right above the ramp.
Yeah, exactly. You just want it to cover the entrances to your bases. That's all it is. Like you want, like it would be like northwest of the hatchery. That's being built right now at your 4th. You just want it to be like, if he goes from that direction, I can see him about 6 seconds before he actually gets towards where my middle line would be. If he goes from here, if he goes from there, if he goes from here, you can always have enough time to react to go, queens, move from ramp number 1 to ramp number 2. And your queens would catch him before he moves there. You would always have queens to catch, always have queens to catch, always have queens to catch, because your Overlords go, hi, 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 I see you from really far away. And then you can move your Overlords that are your artificial creep spread, you can move them back once you actually have once you get up to that point when you have like 7 queens, and now suddenly you have like 8 tumors or 10 tumors going on the map, and now tumors start spreading underneath where your Overlords are. Then you could be like, okay, Overlords come back, or go fill in like the sides of the map, like over here or over there or whatever. You can start sending them outwards to where creep spread won't be anymore, and where it will never be, because now you can rely on your creep to spread. You can rely more on your creep spread to guard you. And also, once you get to that stage, once you actually have creep spread that's like this, I'll get rid of the pings really fast so it's not so confusing. So once you actually have creep spread that looks more like this, and it's more spread like in a big, it's a big like chunk of the map now. We're talking like you have maybe like 25-30% of the map covered in creep at this point. Like your whole base is covered in creep. At that point, that's when it's going to be also appropriate for the game time to be a little bit later. We're talking 6-7 minutes. And that's when you should be you're switching gears now to make units for real. And now it's no longer, again, the harass phase where it's like queens always have to catch the Hellions. Now it's like, well, I have fully saturated drones on 3 bases, and I could easily squeeze out another round of whatever I'm going to make, whether it be roaches or lings or whatever, and I can catch them with units now. So it's not as impactful for the queens to always catch now. Instead, now the phase, like the job for the queens now changes to be from creep spread, like the initial creep spread, and also defense, to really just now creep spread. That's all they do now. Like, they can defend air units if air units happen to be in the game, like a battlecruiser or a banshee or whatever the fuck, a liberator, a medevac. They can help defend shit like that. But when it comes down to like if it's just Hellions at this point, you don't need to be like, okay, wait for the queens to engage, and if he passes them, I need to use my units now, because now suddenly you have like 2 screen lengths of creep to chase Hellions on, which is a lot. It increases your chances to kill them, and now also, instead of using only like 16 lings, now you have like 50 lings or 60 lings to kill Hellions with, because you actually have gone into the army making phase. So that's when it, like the role changes for everything. But yeah, your third base is super delayed. I'll definitely make you a build. I want to make you a build because your third's very, very delayed.
Yeah, so I actually do your the lurker build you made me for Protoss?
Yeah.
I pretty much do that, to be honest.
Okay.
Except instead of a Roach Warren, I make Bane Nest instead.
Okay. I'm gonna make you I'll make you a build that has what I talked about with the Bane Nest and the Roach Warren, and then you can pick and choose what route you want to go. It's gonna be like a very, like, it can go left or right. It has like branches it can go, and then if it's bio you can go Banes. If it's mech you can go Roaches.
Okay.
And it still saturates really fast.
So I mean, the rest of the game now, it continues, but he's just way too far ahead.
Oh, exactly. Oh, I know he is. I can tell, and not only in supply, but I can tell by what you've done so far. Like, you're so fucking. I am dead serious. I really want you to like take that to heart, what I said about the 7 drones dying thing at your natural, because a lot of Zergs literally would look at what you did and go, oh, it wasn't a big deal. I lost some lings, whatever. Like, I wanted to kill some SCVs, but I made him lose mining time. It's okay.
Drones hurt more. But
exactly, if you would have watched 7 drones die to like 2 Hellions getting in your base, and you don't even kill those 2 Hellions, he just gets out, and you're like, wow, I killed nothing, and I just lost seven drones. Every Zerg player would look at that and be like, fuck my life, that sucks. Okay, that hurt. GG. Exactly, and that's exactly what you did to yourself, but you don't realize it as much because it doesn't look that way. Yeah, now like the static D you're making too. This is early. This is when I would say your lings that are clumped up at your 4th base do not need to be clumped up at your 4th base. They could just be. You can if you're afraid of drops, spread them out rather than making static D before you can afford it.
Yeah, I mean, static D, this is, again, not helping my case here, but I'm really just trying to spend my money right now. That's why I'm, like, building another hatch, and, because I struggle to spend my money mid-game.
Yeah. And I think it's partly because the reason why is because you're making the early game going into mid-game harder than it has to be, because you're falling behind because you're trying to do multi-prong aggression. Like, you're trying to be the one who's aggressive and get away with, like, sneaky shit. That makes the game harder to develop. And if you develop a game that's harder rather than easier, where it flows, suddenly now, instead of, like, okay, well, I'm just maintaining what I've already been doing the whole time, now you're playing catch-up where you're like, okay, well, I've missed a lot of shit. I have a lot of money because I was doing shit that wasn't necessary early on. So now not only am I behind where I should be, but I also haven't even been upkeeping my macro as much as I should have been because I've been multitasking other things. And now I got to recover that, too. So you're playing this like catch-up, cleanup game rather than a standard flowing like normal game. Yeah, the fact that you're behind by 50 supply right now, 60 supply, like this 70 supply at this point now, he's like maxed. This is brutal. This is... You should die right now. He's being way too cautious. Like, you should die. But he's being cautious because he's multi-pronging you, which it makes sense. It's understandable for Terran. But, yeah, no, like, if he was a little bit more aggressive here, because he is maxed, you should die.
I didn't even realize he's maxed.
Yeah, and now at this point, all you can really do, I would say all you can really do is, I mean, you made your drones, you've caught up a bit, but trying to play a game that's like somewhat assertive, like, I'll say this, you're never going to win this game by going Ling Bane from being this far behind unless your opponent makes the worst fucking trades of his life. Like, you just move commands into Banes, or you maybe he just doesn't pull back and you just get the sickest fucking detonations on creep. That's like the only way you have a chance here, which again, that's playing for your opponent to make mistakes. The only real way you're going to win this game is I mean, first of all, if you get yourself in this position, this is fucking awful, but it's always giving yourself the chance to fight on creep. So your priority right now should be creep spread as much as possible, and to give yourself as much room to fight on, because if you ever take a fight off creep, you're gonna die. And then maybe prioritizing something with AoE, which is kind of what you're doing, which I agree with, which is you're going into infestors even more now, and you're going into ultras. Something with AoE is the only, like, because AoE is going to reduce his army count super fast, and it's going to be more cost efficient for you if you get a really good setup. Like, if you get some sick fucking fungals or some shit, maybe that could make you come back. But yeah, like, the position you're in is hard as fuck to win from. The biggest one, I would say, the most reliable way would be your Banes. And how are your Banes going to be reliable? On creep. And what does that mean? You creep spread a lot. So, again, your priority should be only fighting on creep and spreading that shit as much as you can. And hoping to God you don't die. It's like, I like that you had a secondary squad there to defend, by the way. That was, I'm gonna watch how you set that up. So I will say this. You grabbed a very large chunk of units, according to what you have. But this is that moment when I'm talking about. It's hard to balance this. Like, I'm not gonna, I am gonna say it's a bit excessive, but it's not a big deal. This is actually would have been okay. I would not give a fuck if you sent this many Ling Bane to go defend the 2 drops, if you were maxed out. I wouldn't care. Because you would have, like, it wouldn't be as impactful that you're sending over there 20 Banes and also 17 Lings. Which, to be fair, 17 Lings and 20 Banes is actually less supply than what these medevacs are worth. Because 17 Lings and 20 Banes is actually, what is that? That's like 18 supply, or 19 supply. It's not actually 20 supply, and these medevacs are worth 20 supply. And if you can just match it, if you can be like, well, I'm going to match your supply to my supply with where your drops go. So if you have 80 supply attacking me in 4 bases, and you go 20 supply, 20 supply, 20 supply, 20 supply, and I match that by going, like, spreading my 80 supply army as well into 4 groups as well, and defending every base, that's fucking perfect. But the reason why this is kind of scary is because he's sending a 20 supply army to attack your base when he has how much army supply in total? He has 112. So if you think about what 20 out of 112 is, that's fucking like 18% of his total army size, or like 17%. It's like not even that big of an army chunk of, like, it's like maybe like 16%. It's not that big of a percentage of his army, but if you send like 20, or roughly almost 20 supply of your army to go defend that, percent-wise, because we're talking about percentages of army. He's sending like 16% to go attack your base with a drop, and you're sending 33% of your army to go defend that, or like 30%. So that's huge. Like, if we're talking about percentages, you're sending a much bigger chunk to go defend it than he is, which is scary. And that doesn't come down to the fact that, oh, you just split your army incorrectly. No, you actually didn't. You just got out macroed, which is why you're so far behind. So it's, again, that's why you're in a hard position now, because these numbers don't add up properly. Because if you sent the same percentage that he did to go defend your base, you would be sending over there like fucking like 3 Banes and like 9 Zerglings, which would not fucking defend that. You know what I mean? That would not kill that. Now that's one thing that is kind of a problem for you, and that's why this is a hard position. The second thing I would say that's a little bit fucky about what happened here is look at how much of your Bane distribution you're sending over there. It's like almost all of your Banes are going to go defend the drop, and like none of your Banes are going to defend the actual attack. It's like very little Banes now in your main army, and that's scary.
You definitely don't want to ever do that. Try your best to keep like the majority, the massive chunk of your Banes to where the majority of his army is. And if you go to finna drop, it's okay to actually send a few Banes over there, and like the lesser amount of your Banes and more Lings over there. That'd be fine. You definitely want the majority of your Banes to be where the main army is. So this should be reversed, where the Banes that you have defending and the Banes that you have attacking that drop, they should just swap. And it should be like more Lings should be the there instead.
Got it.
But I know that you probably just greenboxed it and went, fuck, go defend, oh god, and you're just doing it fast.
Exactly.
So I get it. But if you understand the concept, it'll make it easier to do it properly in the future.
Makes sense. Split-second decisions are hard in StarCraft.
Yeah, man. They are.
I realized that it makes more Banes because of that.
Yeah. And then you actually get rid of him. And again, you should be dead. But why you're not dead? It's because you're fighting on creep. And if you just spread your creep at this stage, you give yourself more chances to get out of the position you're in to where you can maybe expand again. You can maybe actually develop control on the map a bit more. So instead of killing him instead of killing an army that's literally on top of your hatchery, maybe you kill an army near the Zanaga Tower, or maybe you kill an army like more towards the middle of the map because you have creep there when you've recovered. And if you win a fight like that, if you've actually recovered, now you have less time to travel to get to his base to punish one of his bases before his next wave of units spawn. And if you can like slowly push back towards his side of the map, and you actually start killing things like his expansions, well, the later the game gets, the more expansions are like crucial, because he'll start starving because he won't have money in his main, his natural, his third anymore. Now suddenly those expansions that you might be able to kill now are 10 times more impactful in this game, because that's his only source of income. So that's why, again, your creep spread, it's important as fuck always, but it's so important right now if you're going Ling Bane to not die here. Like, your Banes are so impactful as to how important those connections are, and those connections will be 10 times better on creep as opposed to off creep. And also, the further you can get across the map, the more impactful it is, because then you can actually capitalize on time to kill his expansions if you have a good fight. So the neglect of creep, I would say, is a misunderstanding of what is important here. Is why I'm just making that aware, or making really drilling that point in, because it's so fucking important. And even furthermore, the concept of what I'm saying with Banes 100% applies in the exact same way to Ultralisk, because they're melee AoE.
Oh god, he's sending SCVs to my base.
No, it's okay. Honestly, he's not doing it to be like BM or anything.
Yeah, no, he's just cutting.
Yeah.
Supply to get more army.
But I understand. You're like, God, oh my god, fucking SCVs are attacking me.
That's how you know you were behind. You're like, really? I'm not maxed yet. You're sending SCVs to my
Sure.
base.
At this point, though, I would say you cannot have everything because you're behind, and you're not. If you were to spend all your money, you could make like 3 more ultras, and then you'd be pretty much tapped out again for minerals. You do have a lot of gas, but your minerals are pretty looking pretty shit in terms of what you could make with it. But ideally, at this point, it would be nice to have either a good amount of Hydras or maybe like Corruptors or something to deal with the phase of Liberator versus Ultra. But this is just a product of being behind. You go Ultras, he goes Liberators. That's a counter again to you. That's a counter comp. You're like, well, fuck. I have Ultras and now he's got Liberators. This is not great. I don't want to just have Lingbane Ultra versus Liberator Bio, because now Ultras are just going to get destroyed by Liberator. You want to have something that can deal with the Liberator. And a great thing to have, the best thing to have in my opinion, if you go Ultras, would be honestly like 10 Corruptor. Like if you have like 10 Corruptor, and you just go pop all the Liberators constantly, easy peasy, you can get rid of Liberators super fast. It's not a super investment of supply, and those Corruptors should also live for a very long time, because if you have Hydras fighting Liberator, and let's say you made 10 Hydras instead, it's the same amount of supply as 10 Corruptor, but 10 Hydras are going to actually die as they actually kill Liberators too. Like, you're going to lose their Hydras pretty fast, because the Liberator can 2-shot a Hydra. Or it can practically 1-shot a Hydra if the Hydra's taken any type of damage before it gets shot by the Liberator.
because the Liberator literally almost one-shots a Hydra. It's very close. So yeah, like having Corruptors here would have been nice, but you can't because you don't even have a Spire, and you don't have enough money to also afford a Spire and also Corruptors, and not die to his actual push while going Ultra and whatever else you're going for. Like, it's just hard, again. And that's that moment where you overcommitted off creep. You should have pushed him up that ramp right there and then backed off. Because fighting off creep, if you see the fight's going to take you off creep and you're not maxed, you're gonna that's literally watching yourself go, I pushed him away from my base, which I have to do, and look at the point when you pushed him up the ramp. You took like no damage because you have the advantage. Watch this. You took and we're also, we know you're getting fucked by Liberators and a drop on the other side of things, which is, yeah, you have to be able to multi-prong that, and leaving units around the bases would be nice to be able to deal with that. But watch your little bit of units here. You have like 3 Ultras, a few Banes, and a few Lings. This is not 165 supply worth of units. This is like more like maybe 24 supply worth of units. I'm not even kidding. That you have near the hatchery right now. That's going to push this army back. But that's also not his entire army either, because he's also scattered. So this is when you got to balance and accordingly. Like, look at all the units in front of your natural, killing the rocks and sitting there. If those were killing the drop, you'd be fine. If you had, look at the Bane sitting next to your Liberator spot in the bottom middle. If that was maybe, if you were able to actually somehow get Corruptors out, or maybe you had a Spore over there, or your Queens could go over there and knock those Liberators out, and you pull your drones away, that'd be great. But, you know, obviously I know this whole game, again, the more you put yourself into a hole early on, the harder everything will feel as the game progresses. But now watch the fight in the middle where the bio is going to run back, and watch how little damage you take while he runs up the ramp as he runs off creep. And you should have turned around as he ran off creep. But then watch how much damage you take once you actually run off creep yourself. So he runs back up. You've taken very little damage. You've lost like 1 Baneling to a focus fire, and he is just fucking running. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Oh god, we're going to die to Banes. We need to get out of here right now. You took 0 damage on Ultras. I literally think you lost like 1 Bane to an auto attack, and you might have, I think another Bane might have like detonated by walking into a Marauder or something like that. And your Lings are like poking him for a second. Now, if you backed up like right now, you just pull back right now, he would have to refunnel himself back into a choke point again, back onto creep, and the process would repeat itself. But now, if you chase him through this choke point and you now funnel yourself into a choke point that goes off of creep, now, so again, right now, you've taken no damage. That's great. You zoned his ass perfectly, which means it gives you more time to make bigger armies, and you can catch back up more. But now, as you chase him further, you now suddenly eat one of mine shots. You lose all your Banes, all your Lings, and now you just have Ultras, and this is now off creep. And he's now focus firing your Ultras with the lack of speed for you. And now you run back anyways, and that has netted you a loss of, you know, all your Banes are dead, all your Lings are dead, and one of your Ultras is literally on fucking death's door right now. It's 7, you blow air at it and it fucking dies. And the other Ultra is like a little less than half. So, and what is the ultimate result? His army's alive, and you back up, which was it was going to be the result anyways if you just backed up before the edge of creep. It's just that your army would still be alive then. Instead of it being at 144, you would actually be like at 153, and your army would still be really healthy here. And then if you do this enough, it builds up, right? To where now if he pushes back the creep again like this, if you have more units here, you would make him run back up the ramp again. Make him run up the ramp again. Make him run up the ramp again. And if you're not losing units, but you're just building on top of what you already have, suddenly you're able to max out. Suddenly you're not replacing Ultras and replacing Lings and replacing Banes. You're just stabilizing on them because you're stabilizing on creep. And now you can do things like, I can afford to make Corruptor or whatever. Like, add something else in your army that you desperately need right now. And if you actually have enough Corruptor, like 10 Corruptor, to kill all the Liberator, what are they going to do after the Liberator are dead? They're going to kill the Medivacs. And if they're killing Medivacs every time he engages like this, while your army pushes him back as well, well, now suddenly every time he stims, it's damaging as fuck to him because he has a low Medivac count that keeps getting reset because you keep killing them. And now every time, like, his bio is just always pumpkin bio. It's always like half dead. And his Medivacs are just tapped all the time.
Yeah, man. But if you ever give your opponent an inch, they take a mile. Like, you just threw away all your Lings and Banes, and you softened up your Ultras, and what did that result in you? Not only losing the army that was gonna... You just retreated either way. Like, the first little thing you did there, it resulted in everything that's following up. You... No matter what, you didn't kill the bio and you retreated because you decided to do it off of creep rather than on creep. So you took a lot of damage for it. And then because of that, you gave him the opportunity to push forward, and now all your Ultras have now died. All your Banes died and all your Lings died before because you went too far. And now you're having to use reinforcements to come into this area again, which is doing things like now where the drop would have been. Now that's completely exposed, or should be. And your army is now just getting thinned out more and more and more and more, and your bank is being depleted over and over again. So you got to just be more like, just always know this. This is a golden rule of Zerg versus Terran. Never fight off creep. Never, ever, ever fight off creep. If you do, you'll get fucked for it repeatedly again and again and again and again. And now we're going to kind of speed this up, and I'll give you a game because I just honestly see... we'll look for your next fight, but taking the fight off creep now, like this is kind of what I felt like. This is why I want to speed it up. If you chase him across the map like this, you're fucking dead. Like there's no way this works. This is basically going, oh my god, this game is stressful. I am so fucking behind. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna lose this game right now.
That's very accurate.
Because this is
like I've had enough.
Yeah,
that's good.
This is a 0% chance of working. Because now not only are you taking a disadvantage of supply and also no creep for the fight, but now you're taking a third disadvantage of fighting at a planetary, which is like, not only does it do damage and kill your Lings and Banes really well, but it absorbs fucking damage like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's just like, now it's just like you've reset yourself entirely, so now it's super over.
Here's that Spire.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Imagine if you made that Spire and you just played conservatively up until this point, and now instead of having to reset your army again, you actually were like, you stabilized at like 170, 180 supply, and you added in 10 corruptors to it. And then you're still spreading creep, still spreading creep, still spreading creep. And the next fight you actually take was actually a fight that could reset his bio drops, his medevacs. Because look at the medevacs too. Like, even though you don't even have corruptors yet, his medevacs on the left side are like all about to die as well. They look like your ultras a second ago. Like, they're not looking too healthy over there. And then he doesn't even have that many liberators either. He only has 5. So 10 corruptors can like 2-shot a liberator. And a corruptor's attack speed is like once a second almost. It's like once like every 1.5, I think. So we'll just be fair and say 1.5, and like every 3 seconds you're killing a liberator, killing a liberator, killing a liberator. It's like 15 seconds goes by and you kill 5 liberators, which is not that much time. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll jump out of this. I'll make a game now, but your biggest problem is getting behind early and then having to play from a situation where you are behind, which makes it really hard. And then from there...
Yeah, I think the point that helps me the most is the... because there are times when I do lose drones, you know, 7 drones or something, and I do feel like the game is over.
That's what you're doing to yourself, man. It's rough. All right, I'm gonna.
So I'd rather lose the drones than mess up myself by making lings and hoping to get lucky.
I can't actually. Can you message me so I can invite you to the game? I can't actually. It says you're offline for me.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me just mark it as offline. Wait, can I just respond?
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure I can invite you that way. Or I still can't actually. It's weird.
Okay. Let me just go online then.
Get your ass online right now. There you go. Now, you can go offline again if you want to, because I got you in the game now. All right. So I'll make you a build. This build will take you to like, 8 minutes with this, because everything kind of like is not going to be always the same. Like at the further you go deeper into the game, but I'll make you the build that's like, okay, this is how you should saturate. This is how you can build your Bane, your Roach, these buildings, and this is how you should scout. And then, you know, from that point on, like 6 minutes is really the goal here, I would say. If you can do this build properly up to 6 minutes, you'll have such better games. All right, and then, you know, by the way, always feel free to ask questions if you have any about anything that, you know, you're unsure about. I don't mind talking. Okay, so we're gonna take our natural 17, same old shit, 17, 18, 17, standard, super standard against turn.
So I always scout around 3:30 with the second overlord.
You should start setting into his base at 4 minutes.
At 4 minutes, okay,
Yeah,
so a little bit later. But I always struggle with a scout after that. I feel like I don't scout the Terran after that.
You could make you could make from that point on, if you don't get overload speed, you should definitely make an overseer, and make like an overseer run into his base. If you still don't know what he's doing there, sorry. If you still don't know what he's doing, then by 6 minutes, send an overseer into his base. If you're like still like, okay, I don't know what it is, because you should know before that. The only time you might not is if they're really greedy and they go for this like crazy third base command center style setup, and it's like one of those hybrid builds where it could be battlecruiser Hellion, and then it could go into something else. If you scout again by like 6 minutes and it's a third command center BC Hellion opener, then by 6 minutes they'll have chosen what they're gonna go for. Like, it's going to be more racks or it's going to be more factories guaranteed.
And what are my options when they go? The one common position that I have no clue what to build against is when they go BC Hellion and then go into tank mech.
That's
like
when you can go like go to Aspire, and then go like roaches initially, and then if it's like a bunch of fucking tanks and Hellions and stuff, you could go into mutas and shit. Mutas would be great there. Mutas would be amazing against a tank heavy army. Alright, so this game he made 2 Marines, so that's why I pulled the Overlord back super fast. It's fine. But we would go, oh, you natural? Okay, cool. Let's take our third base first and then get Zergling speed. Good stuff. Make our larva, make our nether queen at our third. And now I made that 1 tumor, and now I'm going to inject before I send my queen to my third, because it's just going to have too much time otherwise. Because again, this is like the only way you could really like just do a tumor first and then go right to the third would be like if this was gasless. And you were going to go for like a 19 third base instead of like a 30 third base. So we're going to inject it now. We can inject again. And now I can send my queen to my third. Like right now. Because now the next queen's going to take over for the first queen by the time this is done. And we're going to connect our third to our natural. Our speed is almost getting there. The next round of larva that spawns, I'm going to make a round of lings to have the safe round against the, like the 6 Hellions that could eventually happen if it was a Hellion opener. Okay, make it like 12 more lings or so. Start making queens out of the natural.
So the natural just constantly makes queens, right?
Yes, and then you're also going to make queens out of your third base too as soon as it's done. And now this point is when you would go for like as soon as the drones start to saturate your third, add in the Roachhorn now and add in the Bane Nest now. And this is when you'd want to scout with an Overlord. I kind of fucking sent my Overlord to the wrong spot, but whatever.
Do you not saturate your main? The gas?
This is what like that. Also, when I'm starting the whatever it's called, the Roachhorn Evo or the Roachhorn Bane Nest, this is when I would retake the gas too. I should retake the gas right now. It's because I just saturated the natural mineral line.
So I guess I'm taking gas a little early too.
You should be, yeah, you shouldn't be resaturating your gas until your mineral line at your natural is fully saturated. And now we can go for a layer. And based off of a scout that you should be sending into his base, again, my Overlord's coming from a fucking super weird angle. It should be below his main, not above his natural. My bad. You now could be like, well, do I need to make spores? Do I need to make roaches? Can I just make more lings? Whatever. Does he have a third command center? This tells you everything
about what you need. And if it's a third command center, you can get by fully saturating all 3 bases and you'd be fine with your 4 queens extra. If it's not a 3 base, and if it's like heavy Hellion, if it's BC, roaches would be great for that. If it's like bio heavy, like if it's just pure bio, like double racks type shit, this is when you can start getting ready to make Bane speed and making Ling Bane. But if it was a third command center, the build I'm showing you right now is the example of if you saw a third CC and like light pressure, which would be, look at my drone count already, at like 5.5 minutes. You could fully saturate off of your Lings, and let's say it's like a third command center into bio. Okay, I feel like that's a very standard version of Terran. Third command center into bio, and now suddenly before like 5:30, I'm already fully saturated on 3 bases. I just gotta like reorganize my drones, and then
And then 4th base, evos, and units.
Yep. And then now at this point too, this is when no matter what, you should definitely make Baneling speed. You could make a Hydrogen or whatever you want to make. A Hydrogen's super solid. You could get upgrades now, and you make nothing but Ling Bane for a little bit. You want to have a. You don't want to just make only 16 Lings and go for a fully saturated 80 drones now. That's a bit excessive against like a good player who will 3 base you. You'd want to maybe make like, we're talking like 50 Lings now, like in total. Have like up to 50 Lings. So you have a nice army. We're talking like maybe you have 10 Banes or like 10 to 15 Banes and like 35 to 40 Lings. Somewhere in that range. And that would be more, definitely a lot more like stable of like, okay, I'm not just going to die right now if he does a timing. So what I have now, the army that's still coming out and the army that I have, that is what you kind of would want to aim for. Now, suddenly if I get hit by a tank timing, I can go back into making Lings and I can go back into making Banes and I'll be okay. But and if he does do a small harassment, I'll crush it.
But you don't start making Hydras till your Hydra upgrades are done?
I don't start making Hydras until I'm done on saturation.
With the
4th base, yep. The only time I would ever make Hydras before that is if I needed Hydras for a purpose of Hydras. But I would much rather have pure Ling Bane against a bio tank timing over Hydras. Like, I'm not going to make Hydras and have a very light amount of Banelings against someone who's going to have a Marine tank. Because what's gonna happen then if he does it early? What you said is true, where you're not gonna have upgrades, and the Hydras are shittier than they're supposed to be now. But you're also gonna have so few Ling Bane that you're gonna just bleed out your army as you try to engage, and you're just gonna die. Like you're gonna be like, wow, Ling Bane disappeared really fast. Now I have really slow Hydras trying to finish the fight off, and this sucks.
It's like watching someone play a different game. It's crazy how fast the economy ramps.
Yeah. That's how honestly what you should be aiming for. It's because when you take economy slow, the whole game is just harder. Because it's like you play, it's like you're playing on hard mode because you're starting with handicaps that don't need to be there. And then now we can take one of our creep sorting queens and we can send it to the main, and one of our creep sorting queens and send it to the 4th base, and one of our creep sorting queens and send it to the next base, because we have so many active tumors now. Now what we could do is we could go crazy on injects. And we could go into like just like, you know, like 8 hatchery injecting, 7 hatchery injecting, because you're going for a Ling Bane style anyways. So at this point now you could literally just send a lot of your queens around and just like, you don't even have to keep them there the whole game. Just do a bunch of fucking injects for 1 round. Be like, hey, look at the queen at my my 5th base that's about to finish. Like I'll literally just queue it up right now. All the injects are there. Every inject just got queued up, and then I could even take that queen off once it's done doing that and go back to creep spreading. That'd be fine. I don't give a shit. Just make more injects, because this is that moment when you have the option to do one of 2 things. You can power the mid game and repeatedly go max out, kill, max out, kill, max out, kill, max out, kill, which these larva injects are going to be fucking crazy for. Or you can still have this larva that's still going to be useful to take trades here and there, but you can still have the option to go into like hive tech. You know, I'm gonna be more conservative with my units. I'll go hive tech, and I'll go into like ultras and shit, and I won't go crazy Ling Bane for a long time. This is when you have options. But you do max out pretty fucking fast playing this way, and you have so much larva and so much bank to work with. Like if you're looking at the game right now in terms of like the spectator mode, like how much larva do I already have to bank on? If I were to take a fight right now, and I'm like, all right, let's just do this. Let's take a big fucking fight. I spend a lot of my bank. Let's just say I deplete a lot of my gas, and I'll show you how I do this in a second. You'll see with my army in just a sec. It's gonna be glorious. But now yeah, exactly, yeah. Alright, so he's pushing me. And I take a fight. I'm like, okay, cool. He's here. Go kill him. Okay, he's dead. Let's just say hypothetically, I needed a lot more than what it looked like, and I just spent my army. If I'm not, I don't even know how much I have exactly, but I would guess I have 50 plus larvae right now. Probably like 60, 50 larvae. I could remax right now off of that. I'd be like, oh, you know what? Let's just fucking remax. And I spent all my money, and I still have 7 larvae sitting there that I could be like, okay, well, now we're just getting the last bits of my money spent. Instant fucking remax. And I'm remaxed. So this allows you to have so much fucking power in the mid game. And then all you would want to do now is make sure you progress your hive tech upgrades to hive tech quality. Adrenal glands 3-3, go for like ultras like you did, but even bigger than that, keep expanding. Don't let your bases start mining out. So that you can see my natural starting to mine out as well, but I can just send drones to my 5th base. But as soon as my 3rd starts mining out, like it is as well, these bases are going to get saturated pretty fast, and I really need to expand again, and maybe even expand again. Like, keep the bases flowing so that I have power, and then you can make choices to go attack your opponent and stuff like that. But yeah, like if you can do this, if you can do that, Masters 100%. Like, guaranteed you are on the track to Masters for sure. But yeah, good shit, man. Save that replay, use it as a quota for yourself. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, that wasn't even like StarCraft 2 is massively like a game of variance. That wasn't even like, I will not watch that game myself because I know I missed injects here and there while we were talking, and I missed larva here and there, and I will clearly say I played that game kind of slow, in my opinion. For if we're talking like GM level, that game was not even that crazy. So like, there's so much room to grow as a player all the time. And if you can just really like get down spinning your larva and get down injecting your larva and like spinning it and using it and generating it as fast as you can, and like just doing what we did there of like, okay, 2 base fully saturated, I got the gas timings appropriate. That's when I also throw down my tech of Bane Nest or Roachhorn. Like, you make both, but you choose which one you go into. You don't have to go both forever. It's just for now when you're not comfortable about reading builds yet. Like, you're like, I'm not really sure which one it might be. Once you get more comfortable about reading builds, you can really prioritize what you're going to go into then, and that'd be fine. But it's not that much of a handicap to make both. It's very minor. And then, yeah, you just go from there. You just go into Roaches and, like, go from there, or you go into Ling Bane against Bio, go from there. Easy peasy.
Sweet. Thanks, Vibe.
Do you have any questions about anything before we wrap up?
I have plenty, but I'll ask later.
Ask me one. Ask me the biggest one you have, and then we'll talk about that, and then we'll wrap up.
Well, okay, I don't have any specific questions about this.
Okay.
One of my reactions is whenever I see a Terran go just Marines at the beginning, no Reaper, is I just roach all in them. Is that a bad decision?
I would say kind of. It's gamble. Because what did I say? If they skip a Reaper, what does that possibly mean? It means that they're... I'll just tell you. You don't have to tell me. Well, it means that they could be making a factory.
Something else.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
It could be a factory, and if you roach all in them and they're going into a factory with a tech lab, you might be running into really fast tanks.
Okay.
That would be a fail and a half for a roach all in.
That makes sense.
So it's just a gamble is all it is.
Vibe always taking care of fruit seller.
The best
Good stuff.
Thank you, Hello Jay. The best way I would say to realize that a roach all in is going to be good is if, again, you prioritize it as that's what your priority is in the game. Because remember how I said, if you're going to be aggressive, you need to kind of be aggressive, be assertive about it. Don't just be like, you know what? It's 4 minutes into the game. Now I feel like doing it all in. Like, it's not going to go very well if you just choose to do it then, because you've already missed so much time to capitalize on before that. But if you scout greed at all, every time you see a command center, you're like, okay, my chances just went way up to make this work. That's what makes you feel good. When you see investments of future economy, that's when aggression looks stronger.
Cool. Perfect.
All right, dude. Well,
I'm gonna practice this. I'll let you know the results.
Sounds
Hopefully
good.
I'll be next rank next time.
Hell yeah, dude. Good luck, man. And I wish you the best of luck, and hope it goes well. Thanks for doing a lesson.
Man. Appreciate your time.
Yo, thank you, dude. Have a good rest of your day, man.
You too.
All right, later, bro. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. That's been another coaching lesson with me, your boy Babu. But
yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. And until next time, if you didn't get enough and you're like, wow, I need more, you can go check out more videos on the YouTube. I have replay analysis. I have other coaching videos as well. They're all like coaching style. They're teaching style. I also have Beta GM series. If you haven't checked that out, that'd be a huge guide to help you learn a lot about the game if you're curious about that. But thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Till then, take it easy, stay healthy, and good luck. Peace out.